looking at the Sentinel picks, like you said, this map has a lot of rotation options for defensive teams to where you'll often see if there's like an A hit or a C hit from the attacking side, then going up the mid, hopping up the window, lurking through, and try to get a flank is one of the more standard defensive strategies, which is why you see basically every team required almost to pick up a Chamber, Cypher, or even a Killjoy. Just have that anti-lurk option. So you'll be definitely seeing those trademarks as you already see set up over towards C lobby. So as Zero Marksman Black looking to attack A side immediately, they'll have the backside covered.
Look for them to try and hang out and just wait. You don't want to play too aggressive over towards this A side when you don't have a quick rotator in towards B, while on the other hand, ZMM looking to find that nail in the coffin early on. Pistol rounds very important for the longevity of this one. Good swing and a good flash onto Numbnuts, who cannot see a dang thing. It is traded back though. You're looking for ZMM to try and get these early kills, and they just are not. Already a 2 versus 4 as Lear gets flanked from behind. Bjor, however, gets the kill. It's down to just Bjor. The right click doesn't land. Isaac Newton close it out. 2Inch take the pistol here on Haven. Open us up.
So one of the magical things about LANs as well is even if a team looks amazing on paper, when you go into a LAN environment, everything feels weird and different because you're not home anymore, right? So there's some times where teams just don't step up, especially early on, where they have to get used to it and get comfortable. That's why a lot of teams, if they want to go really professional, they should be strongly encouraged to go and get LAN experience, which is why Fullerton is perfect for that. So you can get that experience of how can I perform on a stage that's not my usual, in case that happens. And in case you go into a international masters kind of situation, this is the perfect opportunity to figure that out. So Zero Marksman Black, maybe that's the case. It is the first round, so we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. I just want to set that narrative just in case that comes into play later on. But went straight into an eco round. Isaac Newton trying to hold a nice sewer hold and gets the first frag onto Enjoy to start off the round for their anti-eco. Doing it pretty beautifully so far, the Marshall in hand.
Gonna play long, shot misses. Isaac Newton down to 50 HP. They swing into this, they could fall. They do indeed. Already a kill back the other way. That shock dart lands for just a little bit. And a decent bit of damage done overall here for the defensive side. Henry S, the one to hold things down here on the A side, does get some help. Whoa. And actually gets 2 with the shock dart. What is that shock? Numbnuts will close it out, but 2Inch with their second in a row, keeping 3 alive, and a shock dart to find 2. A little bit of a different way to win a round, if I do say so myself there, Chad.
For sure. And I like the Zero Marksman Black had the group up mentality, try to deathball through and try to at least get some trades and hurt the economy. They just, because of Eco, they didn't have enough utility to really clear the site quickly and effectively to be able to push through before the members of 2Inch were able to rotate through and bolster up that line. So 2Inch definitely using that economy advantage to their advantage. Going into this bonus, though, it might not be the same. There's a couple light shields for Zero Marksman Black, but they should have a lot better utility, so it should be a cleaner execute.
ZMM are favored in this round. Wait a second. Numbnuts already getting the opener. They can go retrieve that, but no, they decide not to and back up towards this C side. C long is the play here for Mina. Needs to find a kill to flash through. Mina can't see a dang thing. Jumping behind. They still don't turn. Oh no! Mina, no! Misses everything! Numbnuts turns, gets the kill on Lear, but Mina dies. Oh no. Oh,
yeah, I'm not a biased caster,
no.
but I'll scream no whenever somebody is completely whiffing every shot directly behind somebody. That is tough to see for sure. So the narrative set up before time seems to be coming true. Everything feels weird and different on a LAN. You gotta get that experience in, because that is a play. Me as a player, that I do not expect that to happen ever in their own comfortable at home environment. So you gotta figure it out. You gotta get used to it and adapt to the new experience here. And 2Inch, they seem to be looking just fine. They're looking great right now. They're looking coordinated. They're rotating on good timings, good reads on the situation. And they're hitting the shots really well. So this is a perfect situation where a team that on paper should be the underdogs can just come out on top and just step up in the LAN environment saying, hey, we might have more experience and better accolades as a team, but we can step up in the moment for LAN, things like that as needed and adapt faster. So this is an awesome opportunity to see.
The notable heavy impact that we're seeing from 2Inch's opening kills. Now, whether that continues or not is a real question. Numbnuts backs away. Long angles held. Ooh. What is that shot? Another from Enjoy. God. Does not get the third. A good swing from Numbnuts, but it may not matter. ZMM not winning the round that they should, but still gaining advantages on ones they have a disadvantage naturally. They need more, though. That's the real important part. They've dropped the spike intentionally towards default. Somebody has to retrieve that and plant that. Lear will not be the person to do so. The updraft in towards heaven, there... And the question remains, does that continue? It's a shrouded step, not the updraft. It's Bjor hanging out up there. Choppa's the last one alive in a 1 versus 2 on an eco round, no less. Choppa swinging unsuccessfully so. Bjor plays the Z-axis and finds the final frag required. 2 rifles saved over as well as ZMM finally pick up their first round here on Haven.
Yeah, Enjoy definitely getting used to set up hitting insane 2 headhunter headshots to open up that round. Lear doing the same. A little unlucky that Lear got caught by Team Flash from Jonah 6. Might be just a little bit of miscommunication, miscoordination, but I did like that they didn't go immediately for the plant. Even though some people are like, why are they planting the spike? Well, they want to set the established control of the site, get Bjor up into heaven, and set a crossfire in case 2Inch tries to get too antsy, because the read was that 2Inch is just quick on the rotation so far, so we'll see how that continues playing out moving forward.
That's very lucky that the fault line did not land there. They would have been stunned, slowed, and, well, killed, inevitably. It is not an opener just yet for 2Inch, as we've seen in previous rounds. Even there, we saw the opener happen, yet they didn't pick up the round. ZMM turned it around, and really in a way you didn't expect them to do so. High five, to say the very least, for ZMM. A round you lose the opening pick, and you have a weapon disadvantage, you still pick it up. That'll break 2Inch, because 2Inch bought into that round just a little bit. Not everything, but it still hurts their economy just a little. A-site is one of the more favored locations go. It's a lot more wide open area to get with. It's not a choke point like C-Long. It doesn't have all the rat angles as much so like the garage does, and set up for B-site has a lot of angles you have to deal with and defend against once you get the spike planted. That would allow the defending team in good ways and opportunities to rotate around you. So A-site, a little bit more straightforward for the attacking side. Not surprising that Zero Marks and Black goes there a lot of times, but finds more success, takes down Isaac Newton as well. Big for opening frag that Zero Marks and Black finally finding it for themselves. It's a fake, though. Mina's just pushing through. The null command popped early, means they have free control. Mina, the swing, finds another here in the opener. C has fallen. The fakes from earlier have indeed worked. Down goes the Cypher Cage, creating a lot of space here for the attacking side. Post plant heavily favoring them, and Enjoy with the headhunter. Well, hunts ahead, living up to its name. It's down to just numbnuts on the KO, trying to take this original fight. You know, the Astra's saving. This is such an awkward position. That will be the round. The question remains, will Choppa stay alive? And yes, they will, with an operator no less. Not an awful thing to save, but ZMM with a very decisive round and a clean one at that.
Yeah, exposed location for Isaac Newton earlier on that Mina was able to take advantage of beautifully. With just a swing on an angle that Isaac Newton was exposed to a little bit too many of in the moment with nobody else covering the A-long, essentially. Also, love that fake, because what pro team sends their Jet as the fake lurker and not entering on a site is not very common, and that's exactly what caught 2Inch by surprise, that Mina was left behind on A site and ended up being the scapegoat. I guess it's the Trojan horse a little bit. So now, Zero Marks and Black only 1 round away, and the economy not looking too hot for 2Inch right now.
I do have to say, Jet lurking is not something that's too out of the norm in my ranked games. Now, pro play, very, very different level than my ranked games, in all fairness. I'm way too far off the norm, unfortunately. But seems like a C rush is the call here for round number 5. ZMM want to tie us up in style. The question is, do the opening kills go their way? Spray through. Acid is flashed off, but only Mina finding the first kill. Acid staying alive in the back of sight, needs to swing and find a second, and is unsuccessful in doing so. Bjor will take that frag back the other way. The Bladestorm and Updraft combination, unsuccessful there for Isaac Newton. You need more here on 2Inch, and they just do not have it.
It's that new change to Jet. You have to prime your tailwind, and that ran out, so now Isaac Newton has even harder of a time to make a magic happen on the A site. And with Choppa falling, operator in hand, they saved it last round. Probably should save it again, but Isaac Newton trying to get an exit frag, being a little bit risky on the positioning here, especially with where the spike's position. Lear could rotate around even. You got the kill on Jonah 6, couldn't even do that, so they lose the operator as well. Even worse than it was already for 2Inch. Tied up for Zero Marks and Black after a little bit of a rocky start, showing their experience, showing their ability to adapt themselves.
They've adapted. That's the word I was about to use. You've stolen it from me, Chad. But ZMM
Foiled.
have looked very strong since the opening 3. Now, their third round should have, or the third round should have gone their way. It was a main full buy, yet it wasn't for 2Inch, yet they won anyway. Good openers were the catalyst to the success there. Now, it hasn't really, I don't know, worked out since then. Newton prepping their tailwind. Oh no, barely alive. 5 HP, stays alive. What is that? How does he make it out?
That was incredibly close, but Zero Marksman Black trying to attack with the blood in the water, as if you will. One of the side, Acid able to get the shot finally to enjoy, but the rest of the members of 2Inch on their eco round are not going to be able to do much more. Zero Marksman Black has swarmed onto the site, and it's all down to just Numbnuts left alone and attacker side of the map. Not much to do with the Spectre in hand, I must say.
Newton in a close angle, doing their base Mina impression up against Mina. You know, the whole missing an entire clip up against somebody sitting right in front of you. Feels bad, man. Numbnuts is left alone, though, and with a Spectre only. Does clear the close corner, does not get the kill. That's one of those formality clearances where you clear it just to say you did, yet you don't actually clear it in your mind. You back away whether there's somebody there or not. And unfortunately, Bjor reacts quickly. 7-3 thus far for the top fragger on ZMM. Not even the duelist, nor the traditional duelist, the Sentinel in Chamber, is top fragging for Zero Marksman, yet Bjor taking that mantle in stride.
Yeah, like you said, it's like the formality clear. There's so much you have to pay attention to at the same time with your head on a swivel that's hard to like fully clear any corner, honestly, in a situation like that. So many people alive, but nevertheless, it's a 4-3. Zero Marksman Black in the lead now after the slow start. A little bit shaky experience, but guns in hands, rifles ready to go. Spike getting planted immediately on B site, waiting for nothing and rendezvousing right out of there to set up the defensive line.
Joy does not want to deal with it, and understandably so. They back away. Long angles now being held for Zero Marksman. This is a very strong position for them to hold crossfires afoot here for the attacking side. Isaac Newton prepping that tailwind, looking to push through, gain any semblance of control, but it's long angles being held. They back away. Mina preps theirs and pulls it on the tailwind. Good aftershock does drop Choppa, but they're still prepping this defuse. Shots landing on either side. 2 for 2 trade overall, still favoring this attacking side. It's down to just Acid. It's a 4K for Enjoy. The Blade Storm, irregardless of the round outcome, and a strong 5th one for Zero Marksman.
And I love that positioning for the plant as well from Zero Marksman. That wall is spammable. You can shoot through that, but also that aftershock placement does reach, and that's exactly why you saw Jonas 6 able to get the kill onto Choppa, and is also mostly exposed of the location as well for defusing, and with being able to use that box in the middle of grass just to use as cover as well. On top of it, just a really easy location to defend, especially with that breach on your team.
Another strong round for ZMM. Enjoy, taking almost half their HP gone already, just through walls as well. But in tandem, well, ZMM respond with a C rush. In they will go, and they are not even pressured. Good sonar dart. No, they're not landing the shots, though. Henry S. just misses everything in terms of that Hunter's Fury. Enjoy finds the opener onto Isaac Newton. This is a strong start. They're trying to come back in this for 2Inch. They do as well. What is that? Numbnuts with one. Acid with another. Enjoy left alone. They will not be able to rendezvous. It's a thrifty round for 2Inch to come back in this half, and they do it in style, just picking up where ZMM left off.
The Hunter's Fury didn't get any tags, but still was causing enough of disruption to Zero Marksman Black's attack and execution that it made them be very staggered. Mina was left alone a little bit on an isolated island on site. The other members were starting to stagger onto site themselves, but not very coordinated anymore. Just that disruption to the tempo was just enough from Henry S. that allowed members like Numbnuts and Acid to get onto the site and get some really impressive shots on top of it as well with that Sheriff in hand. Get the upgrade at the very end there for Acid, use that Vandal and finish off the fight. 2Inch, he might have been down for the past 5 rounds. The adaptation might be there for Zero Marksman Black, but 2Inch is not out of it yet.
They're making their strides back into this. Seekers popped early. They're looking to just fully send themselves in on towards A. From the shadows popped. Henry S. uses the aftershock as an smoke-esque type of play, is able to mask their own shots through, and the early fall for Bjor is not a great position for ZMM to be in. They've already popped one ultimate. The Null Command on the other side, along with that Cosmic Divide, are also utilized for the defense, but an even trade of ultimates thus far, along with the Tour de Force still available, is a decent position for ZMM to be in.
The Astra, something we haven't really talked about a whole lot yet, is a pick that isn't super common these days. People almost always go with an Omen, if not, then a Brimstone. But that Cosmic Divide definitely stalling off to Marksman Black. Just now getting the spike in hand, trying to get those shots onto Isaac Newton, and finally executing on his sight. Jonas6 finally able to get the frag.
Acid's still in a good position. Never mind. Acid's dead. As soon as I say it, Caster's Curse. My bad, Acid. If you're watching this one back, that's a my bad. Numbnuts now moving themselves up on towards heaven, looking down, playing the vertical angle, is dropped by Lear, who is well aware of the angle, and a 3v4 turned into a 3v1 post plant with 10 to 15 seconds already gone on that spike. An atrocious position to be in if you're Choppa. You have to fully retake. Your Cosmic Divide's already been used on the round, and on towards A, no less. Enjoy's holding the angle. The Tour de Force misses the opener. Enjoy has dropped it to about 50 HP already, but Choppa is being pushed. Gravity Well, never mind. He dies as well. Great positioning for ZMM. They at least solidify themselves a half tie. They're looking to push it onto a half win, and a stylish one at that.
Yeah, Choppa honestly was doing like everything they really could in that situation. Lear showing at that the land ping, which is another thing as well. Like, not only are you in different setup, but if you're used to higher ping from playing at home, when you're suddenly on land ping, even though it's a bit, like, it feels great, obviously it's also a little bit different. Like, wow, I can hold angles a little bit better. You know, like Lear, as soon as that peek came through, instant shot on reaction, just because they're that good of a player, that kind of situation. So it's interesting to see these players going on to the bear ping situation, just like Mina going into a situation where Newton is caught by a stun from the fault line. Bjor finding Acid, trying to lurk out and try to get a little bit aggressive for advantage, and being punished therefore.
2Inch have very quick reactions on their defensive rotations. I think it may be a little bit of nerves in terms of the LAN itself, but already with 3 players rotating over towards A, does Lear get timing? Almost. Catches a kill nonetheless. Okay. Numbnuts does turn it back, so it is a relatively even trade over towards the A long position. But in towards C they will go. Another quick response from ZMM, understanding the weak point in the 2Inch defense and immediately acting upon it. It'll be a late rotation in for Numbnuts. Choppa already here, but really cannot do anything with just a Sheriff, a few stars, and, well, 4 players waiting on the other side. Do they clear the close corner? I think Bjor's seen them. There's the swing. It's another formality clear, and Bjor should take this fight. They will indeed. Enjoy drops Numbnuts in towards defender spawn, and ZMM solidify themselves, indeed, the half win.
Yeah, those really fast rotations from 2Inch on the defensive side is a big part of what got them those first 3 round wins. And Zero Marksman Black seem to have just downloaded that. Ever since then, they started doing a lot more fakes, rotations. They've started planning around the fact that those fast rotations come through. And then one time that they had that fast B hit from Enjoy with a quick plan rendezvous out, there's a time that they kind of had to read that, wait, they didn't fast rotate over to B, so let's just go ahead and get a quick plant. So the fact that Zero Marksman Black overall have adapted to the general playstyle of 2Inch, while also having the presence of mind to when they can actually execute and explode when 2Inch didn't fast execute, very impressive.
Numbnuts almost catches the timing. Unfortunately, has to back away. Good positioning here for the 2Inch side as a whole. They have good rotations thus far. Numbnuts a flash. It finds 3. The swing finds 2. Now 3. Not the 4th. Jonah will get the trade back. In goes the Rolling Thunder, dropping Choppa, but Isaac Newton on a quick flank will drop him with a Blade Storm of their own. An ult for an ult and a trade for a trade, but Bjor now in a 1 versus 4. Swinging behind Acid, who's about to get caught completely unaware. Bjor has indeed found it, but it's the last round of the half. No saving here for the Omen, and Chad, they have so much to do.
They're spread out though. Bjor could win this 1v1 against Henry and becomes a 1v2. There would be a crossfire to deal with after that, but he has to win this first fight now. There it is. Newton, do they get greedy? First peek here. Pierre Nori goes through, pushes them off. This is actually doable for Bjor.
To swing straight into it though. Drowned to 27 HP. That is 1 shot to any weapon in the game, including the Vandal. That'll drop him a strong final round in the half for 2Inch. As they send themselves now onto the attacking side, they need to be able to build off of whatever momentum they've just built up.
Yeah, doable, but definitely odds were certainly against them. That was definitely advantage that 2Inch certainly earned going into this next half. Started slipping away from them a little bit for 2Inch, but they still kept themselves in a competitive reach. 5-7, near tied up. And if they have as strong a start here as they did before, with being on the attacking side, where they can dictate the tempo themselves, perhaps they could have a look to make this comeback a reality can win out this map, because this is a best of one for the group stage. It's double elimination at the very least, but it is still a best of one. And honestly, in a single map of Valorant, anything could happen. This could be a chance for 2Inch to make a dream a reality here.
I do think ZMM are fallible. There's no way in which they come out of this completely unscathed. It's a LAN environment, and it's one where you're not used to your surroundings. Enjoy swinging through, makes out with a kill no less. Surprisingly, they're not caught by the 0 point, and well, they make it out safely. Good positioning overall, as Enjoy keeps their headhunter available, finds a kill, and the opener no less. Mina on a swing from behind will make it out with a kill as well. Good positioning, continuing to be played, but over-aggression from Enjoy will cost.
Well, I did not expect Lear to push up that far. 2 versus 3, though, with a minute and 5 on the clock. Like, this is still doable for both teams. So both Zero Marksman Black has the advantage right now, and with a swing around, they're not seeming to be ready for Bjor either.
One enemy remaining.
Couldn't get the kill.
Bjor finds a kill there, and Choppa is aware of the shrouded step, finds a free kill. That's an opener to say the least. Good fault line, though, forces Choppa into an awkward position. They're just sitting here. It is a 1 versus 2 for Choppa. They're swinging onto vertical angles that really do not exist. Jonas playing down below, the headshot required, the headshot not found. A team ace to win the second half pistol for ZMM. They were not able to win their attacking sided pistol, but they do pick up where 2Inch left off with a defensive win.
Zero Marksman definitely a team you can expect to carry momentum as well in their favor, as you saw for the most part on the first half of this map. That breach situation, setting up over towards C long a lot more than I expected. I mean, Mina does have Lear to use as far as initiator setup for that jet peak situation, has those pop flashes, things like that. So meanwhile, Jonas 6 can work alongside Bjor to handle C long on top of things. Ooh, what a shot.
Who needs C-Log? You just have C-Garage. Enjoy's just hanging out here, headhunter in hand, looking for another, unable to find it. Third, fourth, fifth time around?
Oh my god,
Fifth
stop
time's the
playing
charm.
with fire!
That's
What are you
the call.
doing?
What is that? He finds another onto Isaac Newton. All it takes, apparently, is the headhunter to find 3 different heads in 3 different positions, no less. Paranoia, shrouded step from behind. Well, Jonah already has the flank set up. CMM, a flawless 9th round win. And they now have a massive advantage in terms of momentum. They're on the defensive side. There's Zero Marksman Black. Need I say more, Chad?
No.
That works.
No,
I love that we have a replay here. Enjoy was the player on round number 4 of this map that hit 2 insane headshots to the headhunter. We already know he can hit those. And we saw in that round exactly the same thing. Does Isaac Newton really ego challenge us again? I mean, Vandal in hand. Oh!
They were just unaware. That wasn't even an ego chow. They were just unaware of Enjoy just hanging out. The shrouded step on top of the C Garage box there for Bjor. Enjoy's lucky to be alive. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Definitely took a lot more risks than maybe necessary there, but because they're alive, then, you know, suddenly it was a good strategy. Trademark was set up in B site, so Newton will have a little bit of a tough time getting into there silently. 2Inch seems to be solid out a little bit. They're kind of expecting that Zero Marksman Black might go for like ego challenges and push off on defensive side, but there's a little bit too much so much composure from Zero Marksman Black right now. Lear finally is going to be pushing out a little bit because he had the coverage from Mina, so he'll be able to get a flash and swing from there. The timing, Numbnuts just wasn't ready for it.
On the double guiding light to back away as well from Lear. Newton does find the opener back the other way. The trade is available. The fault line misses, but Jonah's still in a good position to find the kill regardless. Does reposition, but is still found out by that recon bolt. It has to be a switch up here for 2Inch. They're walking into 3 players and a 4th rotating, that being Bjor, but it does not matter. Lear with 1 and a 2nd. They're 3rd on the round. The 4th not there. Acid finds a double back the other way. It's down to a 1 versus 1. Bjor, the top fragger thus far, the one to be put through it, needs to find the plant, will not find it, and it's the Phantom Diff. Bjor is domed, but they stay alive as a Phantom headshot potential just was not there. Bjor clutches, and just barely, but Acid almost brought it back.
And what an incredible read by Zero Marksman, just completely trusting the trademarks and Enjoy in general to just hold down that left side of the map towards C. And after that initial presence in Garage, knowing what Enjoy did to 2Inch the round before, just kind of expect, you know what, they stalled out here. They might just stagnate and then rotate over to A site, which is what a lot of teams typically do, and that's a good read that Zero Marksman and Black had. There's so many people over there ready for crossfires and the like, so they're able to get some frags on the way in, win out the bonus round. Enjoy still just runs this Garage, man. It's the chop shop.
Oh my.
Spike down.
What is
mid.
this? He finds another onto Henry S, no less. Avoiding the flash, Jonah swinging, finds a kill into Acid. Numbnuts is already low. The swing should be unsuccessful. The paranoia too near sight them. The flash does not matter. It's down to Choppa in a 1 versus 4 close range position. Now 3 bullets left in the Sheriff. The swing not gonna land. Lear hits the wallbang headshot as they're jumping and is hit by the aftershock. A little bit of friendly fire there, but Zero Marksman really do not care.
Yeah, they will. Lear needed to buy up no more armor anyway, so whatever at that situation. Their economy's just fine. Mina has an operator in hand vibing. Enjoy might not even buy a gun at this point because he does have the Tour de Force and the Headhunter as well, which we already seen what he can do with that in hand. Buy it for 2Inch, though. They do have a Cosmic Divide and the Neural Theft. They can get the frag earlier on, and the Cosmic Divide set up so you just cut off the rest of the team. But they would like to get an opening pick here, and with how the setup is with Lear and Mina, operator hand, pop flashes alike, and some forward information as well, it's going to be hard for the challenge from A long, and that's exactly the difficulty that Newton is fully realizing right now.
Shoot the recon bolt. Mina trying to take the fight. Still has a tailwind available should they take the peak. They will indeed. The information given over. The Trailblazer lands. The shoulder shot does as well. Numbnuts cannot catch a break. And ZMM forcing match point should they win this round. It is still a 4 versus 3 as Henry S brings one back the other way. But 2Inch needs something. And Choppa is actually taking control in towards C Garage.
Spike down A. One enemy
And look at
remaining.
where Enjoy is, all the way into their spawn as well, so they know, like, okay, they're definitely going to stay here. That's exactly why Mina was able to hang out alongside Lear, Bure rotating through as well, Jonas 6 on top of it, and now it's all up to Choppa. Enjoy has so much more information to work with for the team. They know exactly where Choppa's going to be, and they're able to set up the crossfire to finish off that round perfectly. It's going to be the match point for Zero Marks and Black.
How consistent they are. Not losing a round in the previous 5. They have won, as I do quick mental math, 12 of the last 14. What is that from Zero Marksman? Their attacking side opened up as lackluster, to say the best, and their defensive side looks flawless, including a flawless round or 2. Pistol, conversion, bonus denial is outstanding for Zero Marksman. They're really showing why they're the first seed coming into this, and they're looking to continue with it. Match point getting aggressive, maybe a little bit too.
Perhaps. Still a 3 versus 3 is the situation, but all 3 members of 2Inch Alive have their ultimates to make that 2, but they still have ults to work with. Neural Theft could come through and give them a lot of information to work with, choosing not to use it, though, which is very interesting.
Does Bure catch a timing here?
They would have known where Bure would end up if they used Neural Theft by that timing, I believe, but okay.
Numbnuts, aware of the possibility of the flank, knowing that Bure has not pushed out yet, is there for 2Inch. Where do they plant? That's the real question. Timing could be caught from either side. They're looking to rotate towards C, and there's still the breach in C long. They have to clear this. If they don't, they die, they lose the spike, and all the information given over to ZMM. Bure can rotate. This is a good position to hold down. Do they find a kill?
Jonah will be able to swing out. They might get greedy and plant for long. Okay, they play the safe play,
30
plant
seconds
default,
left.
or actually behind it, but it's even safer. Little hard to defend overall, but we'll fan out and just try to find opposition. It's gonna be a lot of guesswork, honestly, from here on out. They know where Jonas 6 is coming from at the very least.
Shadows traveling.
They're unaware of Bure, though, who does throw in one of those dark covers. Garage is the place it does indeed cover. Flash can be prepped here. The swing from Acid, though, finds a kill of their own. The shrouded step over top from Bure lands them a 3rd on the round, but Numbnuts, with the swing of their own, will at least give 2Inch half of the score of ZMM. They push themselves onto 6, with 6 more uninterrupted required. In all fairness, they do have all of their ultimates, but all of them have to be used at some point.
Yeah, my only big criticism on that round is that Neural Theft is considered one of the weakest, if not the weakest, ultimate in the game right now. that would be probably the one time that it would feel like a really OP ultimate, because as soon you just counter the Omen ult, basically. You just know where they went. That timing could have been perfect, but they chose not to do that. But they do use a null command now, and it's looking like a very aggressive A hit. You already see the rotation coming through for Zero Marksman Black. The tripwire is set up for Mina. Shoot it out to force them to be a little paranoid for 2Inch, even though they don't or may not fully commit to this rotation.
Null command only gives them the A
Wow, they just
control,
go for it.
nothing more, nothing less. Cosmic Divide now off the board as the kill comes through. Henriette's in a good position, finds the opener, needs to find one more, but Enjoy doesn't care with a double of their own. That's 2 for the chamber. Acid has the cam set up, but still has to find the information before they can use the information, and won't find anything. Numbnuts 1 versus 4, doesn't even find one. Zero Marksman will take Haven. They'll move on to the upper decider here in Group A.
That spray transfer from Enjoy was nuts. Took out the person in sewer left side of the ramp, and then swung to find somebody cubby in A long. That's insane that they were able to transfer